Hey guys, welcome to this week's episode.
This week's free episode.
Yeah.
You can check out the bonus episode over at patreon.com/The Froe Show.
Yeah, heaps of additional content over there, so check it out.
Go watch it.
Yeah.
Bye.
Look, I did, 98% of my job? That's a pretty good success rate.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to The Froe Show. My name is Frank Mann, and I'm joined, as always, by my beautiful co-host, Gemma,
Hello, Froe.
who forgot to plug in the speaker
I did.
and forced me to redo this.
You're welcome.
Thank you. I appreciate it. That just reminded me of last night at Kmart, how I had my YouTube song being played
That was-
over the speakers in Kmart.
That's weird.
I was standing there and I was like, I know this song. Oh, don't like that.
Yeah.
That was fun. How's your week?
I've had a good week.
Yeah?
A good week.
Do you want to share some bits and pieces?
Yeah, sure.
You've had some interesting things happen.
I have had very interesting things happen. I've I've flown my drone as much as I could.
Yeah.
That's been fun. Had lots of ups and downs with that.
Lots
of full. That's so dumb.
What are we, like 30 seconds in? Yeah.
I can probably elaborate more on that later.
Yeah, we'll come back to it.
I bought some more things this week.
Uh-huh.
And then had some.
Do you have any money left?
I actually surprisingly, work's been like fairly consistent lately, which is nice.
Good.
So I do have some left.
Yay.
And the thing I bought the other day was sort of like, I didn't go quite halves with someone, but someone gave me some money towards it for like a late Christmas present. So that was good.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Ah, nice.
Yeah.
That's good. I also bought stuff this week, but it's not anything like photography related. It's like a fitness tracker.
Oh, yeah.
And like...
And then, do you want to talk about what you bought just before?
No.
No, you don't? I think you should.
That thing?
Oh,
Wait.
no, before that.
Oh, the Wii one?
Yeah.
I'll come back to that.
Yeah,
I'll
sick.
come back to that.
Awesome.
I want to talk about your drone.
Okay.
So tell me, I want to talk about it falling out of the sky. Because you posted a video on your Instagram story this week
Yes.
of you flying your drone, and thankfully you were very close to the ground.
I was.
But
yeah.
it just went whoop.
Yeah. If you listen to the motors, they just like cut out. Well,
Yeah.
they don't completely. They.
Do you still have the video?
I do. I think.
Can we just...
Did I save it?
Either way, it'll be on your Instagram highlights.
Let me
So
see if
it'll still be in there for sure.
I don't. It's not on the GoPro.
It'll be in your Instagram highlights because you put it on your story, my guy.
I'm getting there. Highlights.
You can do it. I believe in you. You might have to make a new highlight.
Yeah, I will.
Just make one anyway. FPV.
Where is it?
Can I have a look?
Oh, there it is.
Oh, you got it?
That one.
Easy.
That one. Next. Highlights.
Fupuff.
FPV.
I showed some people at climbing your FPV video, and they were like, is this sped up or is this real time?
Oh no, yeah.
I was like, no, this is real time.
Yeah. That's yeah. Okay, let me play.
Okay, I'll put it in the...
Yeah.
I love it.
Yes.
So do you know why that happened?
Well, I asked people on that story. I was like, can anyone tell me what happened? And there's a few people like, oh, was it a battery problem?
Are these FPV people? Or just...
No, some people who have had some experience with drones. But then another person who has, again, a little bit of experience and a little bit in FPV messaged me and was like, maybe it lost connection and reverted to a failsafe. Yeah, which is weird. It's a few reasons why it's weird. Firstly is like, why would the motors stop? Why is the failsafe, stopping the motors?
Yeah.
Because if it loses connection, 100 meters in the air, and is it just going to fall out of the sky?
Yeah.
Sort of thing. And the other thing was, if you look closely, that I'm flying that drone back towards me, and that's only 30 meters away from me.
Yeah.
So,
I would be more inclined to think that it's a battery issue.
Well,
honestly.
I don't know, because like I picked the drone up. I honestly thought I'd hit. First, I thought I hit a bird. Like I freaked out. I'm like, oh my goodness, did I just hit?
I've
something?
just killed a bird.
Yeah. And I like took the goggles off and was waiting for this like puff of feathers, but there was nothing. And then I was like, oh, maybe I hit like a big like dragonfly or something, and it just like
dragonfly.
No, not a. I'm not talking about a massive one, but it like it hit the motor, and the motor just like crapped out.
Maybe I hit a really big bug. Fingers crossed.
But like that wasn't it either. The props, like everything was clean. Nothing broke on it. It fell from 5 meters and didn't.
That's good.
And
That,
nothing.
Good stress test. I
Yeah.
guess.
Yeah.
If anything.
So yeah, I don't know. So I got to work out how to at least set a new fail safe so that it won't stop if that was the problem.
Yeah.
But yeah, I don't know.
Is that the battery that you've like set to the side now?
No, that because I then checked it and then flew it again, and it still had like 3/4 of battery left.
That's so weird.
Yeah. So
like I said this to you when I messaged you about the story. I'm almost certain it would be that the cable just jiggled out.
I'd say so. Someone else said it could have just been a solder joint come loose.
Yeah.
Which might have been. But again, I wasn't doing anything reckless for it to.
No, but
fall.
like you haven't had it that long, so like if something's gonna happen, it'll happen now.
Yeah. I don't know. So there's a few things I've got to try and figure out.
Yeah.
But yes.
Before you can dive bomb it.
Yeah. Well, then I thought, because I was coming down, so I was wondering if it I don't know if I overheated something when I was trying to stop it from the fall.
Yeah.
But no, I don't.
So weird.
Beats me.
So weird.
But yes, so this weekend we're going to a dam and camping there. And I was going to fly it around the jet skis, but now that it fell out of the sky, I'm a little less inclined to do that over the water.
This is fair.
So yeah, sadly probably won't see any videos like that, but anyway.
That's fair. Unless you can fix the failsafe, I guess.
Yeah.
Are you still going to take it out this afternoon?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I'm fine taking it out over like grass and stuff. Because I know that it's very resilient.
Resilient.
Resilient. My one job is to talk. I'm struggling to do that. So
it's gone well other than that, though.
Yeah, I had... Look, there's been... I'm going to talk... That's a good way to lead into the battery, actually. I bought 2 batteries when I got the drone.
Yeah.
And they were like recommended for it. And they were great for the first flight. They were awesome, good drones, and I finally got good batteries. Finally got the battery charger working, which is a whole like 2 a.m. story of itself.
I saw those pictures.
Yeah, super sketchy. And then I got a cell error. So there's with the batteries I have, there's 4 cells in them.
Yeah,
and they all at full charge. I think it's 4.2 volts in each cell. And so sometimes you can have a cell error or something goes wrong in the cell, and then I'm just like, okay, reset, try again. Tried that a few times, and for some reason now it's coming up with battery error, and I tried it on the drone then later, and same thing, got a battery error on the drone. So I don't know.
That's so weird.
I think that was kind of the test battery for getting the charger to work anyway.
Yeah.
So there's a few variations of what we used. I should show you what the charger is now. I think you'll laugh.
Okay.
But it wasn't getting a steady current from the from the wall to the charger.
Yeah.
And I think that just sort of, crapped out the battery, particularly because it was its first charge.
Yeah.
So yes, I have one battery that I think is dead now.
Awesome.
But 2 that work.
Yay!
One slightly bigger than the other, and the slightly bigger one's a little more sluggish than the
like to fly.
One. Yeah.
Like
you
physically.
You can feel that it doesn't output as much.
Oh,
as
right.
quickly as the other one.
Right.
Yeah.
So you can't like.
It's like it's a tiny, tiny difference, but you can tell.
Okay.
Well, I can tell.
You can tell because you're a pro now.
Yeah, pretty much. I've flown an FPV drone like 3 times now.
Yeah. So pro.
Yeah.
I love it. And you bought something else as well.
I bought something yesterday.
Yeah. I was gonna say you should show it, but we're using it.
Yeah, I can't really show it. I bought a new lens. I bought the 24-105 that we were talking about a few weeks ago.
Yeah. In the Zoom was that the Zoom? Yeah, the Zoom episode.
Yeah, I think so. Yeah, I had a really interesting time trying to get that lens.
Yeah.
It took like 2 weeks.
Go on.
To find a time, and then a few times where it didn't work out for us to be able to meet each other, and like he changed the times he was available like at last minute twice, I think, but it was okay. In the end, it was all good. Got the lens. It wasn't quite the quality that I was expecting or that I was hoping for, but it's fair enough because it is, $200 cheaper than it was to buy anywhere else. So
should have haggled him down.
Should have. I probably could have. I think he would have been willing to go down a little bit, but
probably could have got him down like $50.
Yeah, but we had a chat about it. I was like, I asked him what happened to it because I should probably say what's wrong with it.
Yeah.
It just sounds like there's a little bit of sand or something under the focus ring,
which doesn't affect autofocus at all. It's only manual.
No, yeah, that's the other thing. Like, and it doesn't affect the manual focus. Like how it focuses, it's literally just the sound, and like maybe it gives a little more tension on the ring.
Yeah, and it is probably creating a bit of abrasion inside that will over time become an issue. But like, if you're using autofocus most of the time anyway, so it doesn't matter.
Exactly. And I don't know. I'm guessing we'll probably use it on the Blackmagic.
Yeah.
Quite a bit. So I'm gonna get it serviced eventually anyway.
Yeah.
Hopefully they can clean that out a bit.
They should be able to. And there's also the thing that it could just be under the rubber.
It could, yeah. And like, I went shooting on it last night and used the manual focus like 2 or 3 times just because the autofocus on the ADD is
not great.
Yeah, not great. It's like there's this tiny bit of tiny leaf I'm trying to get in the foreground to have that depth.
Yeah,
and it focuses on that. And then you miss the shot. No, anyway.
That's what I love about the EOS R is like the touchscreen autofocus. Like when you're filming, when you're shooting, you can just use your thumb to set the autofocus point on the screen.
Oh, that's cool.
It's so handy.
I think you can do that on the ADD, but it's finicky.
Yeah. Finangly. Yeah.
Yeah. That's a whole nother story. But yeah, the lens. But it not beautiful photos.
Yeah.
I'm very, very happy with the way they look. Yeah.
Yeah, you showed me a couple just on the screen and they look really, really good. Just the difference, just the L series quality.
Yeah.
They're just so sharp. It's insane.
And even like it's almost the colors look better. I don't know how that works.
I had that as well, yeah.
But the colors look so much nicer.
Yeah, and it's just because the quality of the glass is better, you're not getting chromatic aberration, you're not getting like color shift and stuff like that.
Yeah.
So it's getting a lot. The way that it's getting to the sensor is a lot better.
Yeah.
You know, that's all it is. But yeah, I had the same thing after my first L series lens. I was like, whoa, this is insane.
Yeah.
I've had that lens for
You've had it
over
for a long
2
time
years now.
Yeah.
That's insane.
Yeah.
No, kidding. A year and a half.
Right.
End of 2019, I bought it.
Yeah.
So a year and a half now.
There you go.
And yours will serve you just as well.
It will. That I'm gonna have that for like forever, I reckon.
Forever. Unless Canon sucks later on and we switch to a different camera system.
I don't think we will.
But at this point, like, we're pretty much locked in.
I think I don't think there's any way out here now.
No, like
with 3 L series lenses, 4 cameras.
4 other lens. Yeah.
1, 2,
4 cameras that take L series that take Canon lenses, adapters for
4 EF mounts.
4 EF mounts from like PL mounts and like MD mounts and stuff like that. Yeah, we're screwed.
Yeah, we're locked in.
That's it.
Canon all the way.
Canon just announced a new camera, actually.
Do they?
Like a pro body version of the EOS R, the R3.
Yeah.
And it's like the new 1DX, basically.
Oh, right.
So like, it's like how the way that they're marketing it is like the EOS R and the R6 are like the lower end,
Right.
which is insane.
Yeah.
And then the R5 is like the 5D Mark IV.
Mm-hmm.
And then the R3 is like the 1DX range.
Right.
And they look mental. Like, they are crazy. EOS R3. They look like tanks.
Oh, really?
Yeah. It's
the tracks and everything?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
That is a hefty camera.
And it's a big old boy. Yeah, it's insane. And there's a bunch of rumors about it. But it's basically like they're going to stop doing DSLRs is essentially what it comes down to.
Oh, really?
They're switching entirely over to mirrorless. But Canon just like officially announced that this is real, basically.
Yeah.
And it's mental. 30 frames per second shooting, like high speed shooting, I mean.
Oh, wow.
That's insane.
Whoa.
That's
Yep. Yeah.
So 30 frames per second, improved low light, reduced noise. It's a 35mm full frame sensor. Dual pixel CMOS autofocus. The autofocus control can be done with your eyeball in the viewfinder.
What? So
it just focuses on what you're looking at.
That's insane.
Yep. It's directly inspired by the 1D series, so it's specifically made to be reliable, like waterproof, dust resistant, everything.
Yeah.
What else is there? That's kind of it for now. Oh, they've also announced a 100mm macro lens for RF, a 400mm 2.8 lens, and a 600mm f4 lens for RF.
Wow.
So that's hectic. There's no release date or anything just yet or prices, but man, I want one so bad. It also means though, on the flippity flip flop, the 1DXs are going to get really cheap once that comes out.
That is true.
So, I mean,
how cheap are we talking though? How cheap is really cheap?
They're currently, let's have a look, 1DX Mark III. I wonder if you used a 1DX Mark III that there was an internal error. There we go. You can get a 1DX Mark I for $2,500 used on eBay. The Mark IIIs are still like $11,000. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
But the Mark IIs are still commonly used. I think that's the one that John uses. And they're $6,000 US, so like $8,000 give or take. Oh no, that sucks. There's one here for $2,000.
There you go.
So you can get the Mark II bodies for like okay-ish prices.
Yeah.
You can get it on Amazon US new for $3,000 US, so $5,000 Australian.
Right.
That's good.
Yeah.
But I 100% at some point want to cop one of them because those things are tanks.
Yeah.
They can withstand so much. There's like this picture of a 1DX that was used to shoot like a volcanic eruption. And it's like completely melted and like falling apart and everything, and it still works.
Whoa.
Yeah.
That's insane.
It's crazy. So yeah, they're like properly big boys.
Yeah.
But depending on how much the R3s are, I would definitely be interested in getting one.
Yes.
And I also think that, we were talking about like 70-200s. I think that we might have to get like an RF 70-200
I think so too.
because they are so much better.
Yeah.
So much sharper. Autofocus is way better. They're smaller. They're lighter. It's no brainer basically.
Yeah. Okay.
But I think it's a case of like sit on it for a bit
Yes.
and see if the EF versions get way cheaper.
Yeah.
Because
true.
if the EF versions get way cheaper because of the RF versions, then just get one of them because then it's compatible with the Blackmagic and stuff as well.
True. Yeah, because that's what we'll use it for most, right?
No, I want to use it for photos.
Oh, okay. Not for videos?
I mean, also for video, but like...
I think I told you this, but I've seen someone do... they were doing a wedding shoot, and they had, 70-200, and it was indoors as well.
Yeah.
I was quite surprised, but they had, on that Blackmagic
Well,
camera.
70-200 isn't that close.
No, I was a bit surprised. I honestly thought 105 was closer.
Yeah, but...
When I got that.
Yours is also times 1.6.
Yeah, I know that too.
But yeah, 70-200 isn't... It's compressed, and it is telephoto, but it's not like crazy close. Crazy close is like 400, 600, 800.
Yeah.
Like 600, 800 is what they use for wildlife.
Ah, right. That makes sense.
It's like they don't use 70-200s because they're not close enough,
Yeah.
which is crazy.
Yeah.
Actually, I might bring the 55-250 tonight.
Where is it?
It's there.
That one?
Yeah, that one.
I'm interested to see how that goes.
Well,
Because that feels terrible.
Yeah, it is a bit. Wait, ready? I really like this lens though. Boop. I use this lens heaps with my first camera with the 550D.
Oh yeah, when you were doing wildlife photography.
I was doing wildlife. That's how I started.
Yeah.
But yeah, I'm interested to see how it goes because I haven't used this lens in ages. And I can set the EOS R to like crop sensor, so that it lets me use these without like a black box.
Yeah.
So I can set it to times 1.6. Because I want to get some cool like compressed mountains at sunset type vibes.
Oh, that could be nice.
Yeah. It also could be super gross.
Could. We'll see.
But yeah, exactly. We'll see.
Yeah.
Either way, I think I want to get a cheap like 70-200 for myself as well. Just that I can, because I feel bad, like if it was the companies, because
you reckon?
beat and batter my lenses
You do.
to hell and back. So, and also the stuff that I want to do with like my gear.
That's true. You don't want it to be,
I don't want to be liable.
But then I can't steal it as often. I can't be like, but it belongs to me too.
This is true, but you can always pinch it. Like you can always ask.
I could.
But yeah, like it literally is just like the stuff that I do with my lenses. I would hate to do with a company like asset.
Yeah.
It's like,
but if that's what we want to do with, like, that's what we want to do.
yeah.
So,
But also,
just be like slightly kinder to it.
no. Do what I want.
As in, put a lens cap on.
No. I don't know if I've ever talked about that on the show. I don't use lens caps.
Yeah, Frank doesn't use lens caps.
I don't use lens caps. I use body caps. I use like the actual body caps. But when I bring lenses with me, I do when I travel. When I travel with lenses and I put them in a backpack, I'll put the lens cap on it. But when I have a lens on a camera, or if I have a lens like in like my bag to do a quick swap, I don't have a lens cap on it. Just because like it's one more thing for me to think about, and the amount of times that I've lost a shot because I have to go, and they're gone. It's like, okay, I'm just gonna I just buy like mid-range UV filters for all my lenses,
right?
And I just cover them so that like the UV filter gets scratched, and then every year or two I just replace the UV filter.
Fair.
Way easier, I think.
Interesting.
Yeah, I like it way more. Just because it's easier, and I don't like if the lens gets dirty and stuff like that, which is bound to happen. Like I shoot in the rain a lot, and I shoot in like gross conditions.
Yeah.
I can just go and not feel bad about it.
True.
That was me cleaning the lens.
Yeah.
By the way, if anyone Was unsure. Just
Yeah, no, I don't think I could do that.
you will. You'll get there.
Well, I guess I just put a lens on when I'm like moving with it. If I'm shooting, the cap's not on it.
Yeah. I just lose them so fast as well.
Really?
Yeah.
I just shove it in my pocket and then.
I forget about it, and then I'll like put my phone in that pocket, and I take my phone out, the lens cap will fall out, and I won't notice, and then I'll put my phone back in.
That's why you put it in like a back pocket so that if you sit down, you remember.
Do I look like someone who remembers?
No, that's true. But still.
No, it's too hard. It's too hard. It makes my brain hurt.
It makes your brain hurt remembering to take the lens cap off.
Yeah. I'd rather just have it ready. I don't even turn my camera off, man. Like, my camera's always on when I'm shooting.
Yeah, but you don't even turn it off in general, do you?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
I turn it off if I'm not using it. Like if it's sitting there, it's off.
Yeah. Okay.
But like if it's sitting next to me in the car, it's on. It's pretty much always on. Other than that,
Right. There you go.
it's just way easier. Like it's my little pet peeve when people go click off.
Yeah, I don't do that.
It's like, what if there's something else?
Well, I don't do that anymore.
Yeah.
I used to do that. But I don't know if that's fixed or
I've broken
me. Yeah.
Lens caps is next.
I don't think that's gonna work.
I'm teaching you all my bad habits.
Did I tell you about the habit? Yeah, I did. In my exam, I think I spoke
Yeah, you
2
did
weeks
tell me
ago.
that. About the plates.
Yes.
Yeah.
My habit here is put the base plate straight on the camera.
That's your fault.
And I lost marks because of the bad habit you gave me.
You gave yourself that bad
Yeah,
habit.
no,
I take no responsibility for that. Thank you very much.
You should.
No, I take none whatsoever. I think I might just get like an f4 70-200 though, and not get the 2.8.
Yeah, I like shooting on that lens. It's an f4. That's like
it's pretty negligible.
Yeah.
The only difference is that the f4 isn't stabilized. I think is the big.
Oh, that's an issue.
Yeah.
But both those cameras have stabilizers in them, as the Blackmagic and the EOS R, right?
Yeah, the EOS R has built-in stabilization.
Blackmagic.
Oh no, it is stabilized.
Oh, then you go.
All right.
Then go for it.
Yeah. I'm right now.
I also found F4s are really nice. Like, wait, you're buying it right now?
I'm not.
Oh. I'm not. F4s are really nice sort of mid-ground to not have like super blurred background, but
yeah.
But it's
not
still
go
be
wild.
noticeable.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I see. The thing is, I could buy one now, but I need to save for
your trip.
my trip.
Yeah, so don't buy one.
I could. I can't though.
Don't do it.
Naughty. I don't have. I'm like saving too much at the moment for me to buy stuff.
Yeah, you start to get like sad when you're saving a lot and you're like, I don't want to.
Not even that, but like everything's getting split to different accounts like right when I get it. So like I only see like $150 a fortnight.
Right.
But it's okay. It just means that like I can't really do any big purchases without like
really saving for it or
being really, really like Scroogey and just not spending any money over the fortnight.
Yeah.
Because like, you know, I'm gonna read out my savings accounts.
Do you not have like a short-term saving account though?
I do. But
okay.
it usually gets used within the fortnight. Like $150 isn't much.
No.
But it's like, say I have savings, so that's my short-term savings. I have savings, fuel, my moving money, travel, climbing gear, my membership for my gym. So it all gets spread across all of those.
Yeah, okay, that's
like 50% goes to moving and travel.
right.
25% each.
Yep.
And 15% goes to my gym membership. And then like it gets split across the rest. So
you're left with what, 25%?
I can tell you exactly how much percent I have left at the end.
35%.
I am left with 37%.
37%
of my total income. And then usually 50 of that will go into like something else, like climbing gear or something like that. And theoretically, I could put that $50 and save that over the course of like
a little while,
ages. But yeah, you know, I get paid fortnightly. So if I put in $50 a fortnight, how long would that take?
That's a long time. How much is the lens?
The lens is $1,500.
That's like a year and a half,
50,
I think.
30. That's 30 fortnights. So
30 fortnights. That's
30
just
times
over a
2,
year.
That's 60 weeks.
Just over a year.
Yeah. I reckon once I do my trip, I'm gonna
Start saving for
just swap that over to like
savings.
saving for a lens. Yeah,
I
might do that.
I'm keen.
But
I'm keen for it.
Yeah, I just want my own so I can just bash it. Basically,
Fair.
is what it comes down to. And I'm not very careful with my equipment. My cameras are all messy and dirty and broken.
They are.
It's just, it's a tool, you know?
There was one lens that was going for $100 dearer than that one, but I could tell that it was someone who climbed. I could tell it was their lens because there was chalk like all over it.
That's so good. I love it. I love that he didn't even bother to clean it for the photo.
Not really.
He was like, nah.
Or you could just see like some of the chalk in like the gaps and the rings like were a lot whiter.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Than they should be. Yeah.
Yeah.
The body on my EOS R is covered in chalk.
Yeah, it's bad.
That's just how it looks now. Like I can't get it out.
That's just it.
Do you want to talk about your little photo walk?
My little photo walk, yeah.
Yeah, because you said you had an experience.
I did. I'm actually just going to talk about like yesterday in general.
Okay.
And how like it was a really good way to realize, or a good reminder that like every encounter is a good networking encounter, and you always have to like kind of sell yourself as a creative, and every to everyone you meet. Yeah. So the guy I bought the lens from, he like Facebook stalked me a little bit, which is like what you do, and found out that we went to the same uni. Yeah. And I think I actually told you this. Yeah. But we had a good chat. I got there and just asked if I could go to shoot with the lens for 10 minutes. Did that, came back, and then we had a really good chat about uni and what we were doing now, and turns out we were probably going to the same graduation thing, so we're going to see each other again, which is cool. But then he ended up being like, oh yeah, I got some mates who do this producing stuff. Do you do mastering? And I was like, yeah, I do mastering. He's like, sick. Yeah, let's stay in touch then, because I might send you some stuff. I might have some stuff for you to do. And it's like, oh, yeah, okay. So, I went to buy something from this guy, and he's keen on doing more work.
Paying you back with work.
Yeah. So that was awesome. So I was on a high from that. Got this new lens. Yeah. Got new work coming up soon, hopefully. And then so I went and did some other stuff, and then went shooting in the afternoon. And on my way back, so I walked. I can say where I walked because it was in the past. I walked from like the Queen Street Mall down to South Bank. Yeah. Pretty much down to the cinemas at South Bank. Yeah. And then came back.
Yeah, back around.
And on my way back across the bridge, that's where I got some of those really nice sunset photos of the buildings. There was, actually, once I was past the bridge, this lady came up to me and was asking if I was a professional photographer. And my first reaction, she asked if it was a profession or just more of a hobby, and I was like, it's more of a hobby for me. But she explained, because I'm looking for someone to do, headshots for portfolio stuff. Yeah. I'm mad that I didn't ask what exactly it was for, but she said she's like being recognized by or being contacted by agencies now or something. Yeah. Or being what was the word?
Scouted?
Yes. Yeah. She's getting scouted now, and she'd like to have some headshots done. Yeah. And I was like, oh, cool. I'm not a professional photographer. This is more of a hobby. But a mate that I run a I said media production business with. I do more of the sound and videography stuff. He does a lot of the photography stuff. He's a pro photographer. She was like, awesome. Could I get in contact with him? And I was like, yeah, sure. I'm going to see him tomorrow, so I can get your number. I'll get him to contact you. So yeah, that's your job for this afternoon.
I will contact her. I also need to call someone else back who, the place we were talking to ages ago, the insulation place.
Really?
Yeah, they sent me an email on Tuesday.
Another
I haven't
one.
had a chance to call them back, so I'll call them back today.
Yes. That's been an interesting roller coaster.
Yeah, a little bit. Yeah.
But yeah, so that was a really cool experience. A funny story from that though. I looking back through the photos, I was trying to work it out because I saw her on the bridge.
Yeah.
And there was a good 5-10 minutes from when I first saw her to when she actually came up and spoke to me.
Yeah.
And she said to me, I don't normally do this. I don't normally, talk to random people or whatever.
Yeah.
And yeah, all that. But last night I was like, wait, was she following me or was she I was like, what happened there? And I'm going to show you this. I got a little, we're obviously not going to show the cameras, but I got a little timeline of where she was from. I didn't intentionally do it, but just the photos I was taking, she was in
That's so funny.
she was in some of them, the back of her was in some of them. And it was funny because her arm got into this shot and I got really mad. So that's halfway across the bridge. And she stopped every now and then when I stopped.
Yeah.
So she obviously was
sussing me out,
trying to build up the confidence to talk to me or whatever.
She's like, is this man a serial killer?
Yeah. So I'm going the wrong way. Wow.
Yeah.
So I'm still walking along the bridge, that's her there.
Wait, I want to see if I recognize her.
I don't know. Probably not. I've never seen her before.
Right. I'm just gonna flick through them. I know what I'm looking for now.
There's none of her face. They're all the way back. But I think there's only one more photo when she's in the distance, and I'll show you that one.
Okay.
So
I love these.
That
photos.
one's it's cool. Hey, so that one was about 3/4 of the way along the bridge.
Yeah.
And then she's off in the distance there.
Yeah.
Oh, I'm going the wrong way again. Far out.
Yeah, you are.
And then I looked at this later. She's way over there, walking away. So she's on the other side of the road, walking away from me. It's not like she's at the lights coming back.
Yeah.
And at this point, I turned right here and I think I took a few more photos across the water. And then I kept walking down this way. And then, that's it. And then I was standing at some lights, waiting for it for a good 3 minutes. I was just on my phone. And then she finally came up to me. So
so she clearly went, she was watching, walked away, went, I'll regret it if I don't ask, and then came back.
But I wasn't near, the last photo of that, that she was in.
She was just she's it has to happen.
She tracked me down though.
She's like a bloodhound.
I wasn't in eyesight of, that at least the last photo that I took where she was in the distance of it.
So she must have just doubled back and then just seen you again and been like, oh, you know what, I might as well.
Yeah, I don't understand though. She's
so
obviously heading in the opposite direction to where I'm going.
Yeah.
And she somehow she found me, but yeah.
Interesting.
I thought that was really funny.
I will contact her this afternoon.
Yeah, so she must be really keen because she hunted me down.
Clearly.
But no, she was super nice. So that'll be cool to do some. But yeah, everything's a networking opportunity.
Everything's a networking opportunity.
Even taking photos of some buildings is a networking opportunity. So yeah.
That's a nice building.
And we were taking, it was looking back at it now, it's funny because we were taking photos of the same stuff. I took a photo and then she'd pull her phone out and take the same thing, trying to suss me out, I think.
That's so funny. I love it. I had something similar when I was in New York. The day after I got my 24-70, I was like, I'm going to go on a photo walk through New York. So I spent I think it was 5 hours. I walked from what was it? I walked from just above, would have been like 50th. And I walked all the way down to like the Woolworths building, which is on like 10th.
Yeah.
So I basically just followed Broadway down and went like all the way down.
Yeah. That's a long way.
Yeah, it was a pretty long walk. And I was walking down and I was like taking pictures with I was like, oh, L-series lens.
Did you just buy it? Did you buy it you bought it in New York?
I bought it in New York, yeah. Because it was slightly cheaper, but then when I worked it out with tax, it wasn't, so it didn't matter. Okay. I was like, yeah, I'll buy it in New York. It'd be way cheaper, blah, blah, blah. And I got there and they like chucked on like $400 tax. I was like, damn it.
Yeah.
But yeah, so I ended up going around on this photo walk and I got to this square and I was taking pictures in the square and like hanging out and they had like this market going on. And I saw this guy sitting there like all dressed up, like looked super cool. Not in like a suit and tie, but in like streetwear. Yeah. But clearly high-end streetwear. Anyway, so I went up and was talking to this guy and he was like, yeah, you know, like I'm a fashion designer, blah, blah, blah. And he goes, oh, I'm waiting for this. I'm waiting for this like super exclusive fashion designer drop.
That's insane.
Who's going to show up here in like 2 hours. Yeah. And I wanted to be the first person here. Yeah. And I was like, oh, sick. You want to take some photos? Yeah. So I took some photos of him and did like a little portrait session. Yeah. In hindsight, pictures aren't great, but it was fun. Yeah. Anyway, was dumb. Didn't get his like Instagram or anything. Yeah. But another person came up to me. This guy called Lorenzo, and Lorenzo came up to me, and I was talking to him. Super cool guy, like born and raised in New York City. Oh yeah. Awesome guy. And he had has this company, or he was one of the like managers of this company called State of Mind. Oh yeah. And it's like this streetwear sort of like they do a bit of everything.
Yeah, I think I've heard of that.
I think I've sent you some of their stuff before. Yeah. But they do like backpacks, they do soaps, socks, shirts, everything. They cover the whole like gamut of stuff. And he was like, oh, you know, like, and I was telling him, you know, like I want to end up in New York at some point or in the surrounding area. I'm only here for like a couple of weeks, but you know, in the future, I'd love to be here. And he was like, oh, awesome. Like, you know, when you end up coming back, like hit me up and we'll get you to take some photos for us and stuff. Cause he saw me shooting for like this guy. Yeah. And so obviously he just like went, oh, this guy's like a fashion editorial photographer. Yeah, right. And then came up to me and was like, yo. Boom. And he was like, you're not from here. Because like the second I started talking, he was like.
There's something off about I can't. Oh.
Yeah. But yeah, that was really cool. Yeah. Anyway, had that whole interaction, was like, yeah, sick. Like when I'm back in New York next, I was like, yeah, like end of 2021, I'll be back. Yeah. Anyway, so I ended up carrying on. I left the little market and I walked for another hour or so. Got hungry, went into like a Burger King, not a Hungry Jack's, a Burger King. Burger King. Went into a Burger King and got some food. And as I was waiting for my food, this guy comes up to me and he's like, "Hey, you a photographer?" And I was like, "Oh yeah, like I do a bit of freelance stuff here and there, but like you know, I'm very much still in the early stages of actually making this a career." And he goes, "Oh no way, you know, like I'm a photographer for a magazine or something like that." Yeah. He was a journalist photographer. Oh right. And I was like, "Oh no way!" And he was like, "Yeah, I just came back from like Sudan or something." And he was like, shooting all of this like documentary photography of like all these places that don't have food or water. And he's like, yeah, you know, like next weekend I'm doing I'm doing a gallery that's like a benefit for all of these things, all of these places, like and like raising money for them. Yeah. He's like, you should come. And I was like, dude, like, what? I'd love to. I'm leaving in 3 days. Like, that'd be sick, though. Yeah. Thank you for the invite. But yeah, just insane stuff like that. Like, if you act confident and you look like a photographer, people just assume that you are. Yeah. Wow. Yeah. That's crazy. Yeah. And it's like what you said. Like, the second you put like a proper lens on your camera. Yeah. Suddenly it looks like a camera. Yeah. You could put an L series lens on a 550D and people would be like, that guy knows what he's doing. Yeah. Whereas like anyone who's actually a photographer would go, this guy has no idea what he's doing. What is he doing? Yeah. Yeah. And I think it's that confidence thing too. Yeah, oh, absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely, it's the confidence thing.
Because that's something I've struggled with taking photos in public. Yeah. And particularly on that bridge.
Yeah.
When there's a lot of people walking around it and and then I stop.
Yeah. It's also just like making it clear what and why you're taking pictures.
Yeah.
And I think having a better camera makes that a lot nicer. Whereas like if you're standing on the bridge with your phone and you're like tap, tap, tap.
Yeah.
You know, people are gonna be like, this bloody tourist.
Yeah.
Like, look at this idiot.
Yeah.
Whereas like if you're there with a camera, they're like, wow, he knows what he's doing. He's capturing Brisbane. That's true. That's what I've noticed.
Yeah.
That being said, though, cameras get you in a lot of places.
They do.
They get you kicked out of a lot of places, granted, but they get you into a lot of places because people just assume that you're supposed to be there.
Why?
It's the whole confidence thing.
Where have you gone?
So when I did,
I'm very interested.
When I did this gig for Concrete Palms like 2 years ago, I shot their EP launch, and I got there and like something to do with the reception in the building, like I couldn't contact them. And I had my camera gear with me and I had my backpack and everything. And I just walked up to the door and I was like, hey, I'm shooting. Can I come in? And they're like, oh yeah.
Here you go.
Off you go. And I was like, oh, okay. And I just walked in. I was like an hour early and like they were still setting up for the event and everything. And
that's insane.
they just let me in. I just walked in. Anyway, and I was standing there and I was like, it was in Woolly Mammoth. I don't know if anyone's ever been, but I don't know if you've been to Woolly Mammoth. It's like
I don't think so.
Okay, so they have the upstairs area, and then there's like a place behind the upstairs area that's like the stage where they do concerts and stuff. Anyway, they have this little backstage area next to the stage.
Yeah.
And so I was standing in like the main area as they were setting up, and I was like, I have no idea where these people are. Like, I don't know where the band is.
Yeah.
And I was like, oh, you know, if they're anywhere, they'll be backstage, right?
Yeah.
So I just walked up and just opened the door, and I was like, oh.
Here they
Hello. So yeah, like if you have a camera and you look like you're supposed to be there and you look like you know what you're doing, people pretty much let you get away with anything.
That's insane.
Yeah.
Wow.
It's pretty fun.
That's crazy.
It's just confidence. It's the same thing as like wearing a high vis and a clipboard.
That is true.
If you wear a high vis and a clipboard and you walk into a place, you can get away with anything.
And like carrying a ladder. Or is it pizza?
Yeah, or just like anything precariously balanced.
Yeah.
There's this really good story of this person who his job was to find security flaws in businesses. And so what he would do is he would get this checklist of stuff to do. So it would be like get something out of the building that you can't easily conceal, or find your way into a secure area of the building.
Yeah.
Stuff like that.
Yeah.
With no credentials, obviously. He's
Yeah.
just some guy. Anyway, so what he ended up doing was he ended up combining the two. Get something that you can't conceal and get into a secure area. So what he did was he went in like he had a duffel bag or a backpack or something like that.
Yeah.
Something that looks okay. It was like an office building, a high-tech IT building sort of thing. Anyway, so he learnt the name of the manager, and then walked up to the security guard and was like, oh, like I'm new. Felicity said that the badges are going to take a little bit longer. And he was like, yeah, no worries. In you go. And let him in. Anyway, he went inside, found like a dolly and took the dolly and just like walked it through with the dolly. Went into a server room.
Yeah.
Got changed into like a different set of clothes that looks like, an IT guy's clothes.
Yeah.
Loaded up some computer stuff on a dolly. And then like just precariously enough that they would tip if he like bumped it.
Right.
And so he left, went outside, and then had to take a different exit because he can't go back through the security place.
Yeah.
And so took a different exit, and right as he was coming around the corner, to where the security guard was, like the stuff like the computer and everything started toppling on the dolly.
Oh.
And so like the security guard came up and like helped him get it all back together and like make sure it balanced, held the door open for him and like let him go out.
What?
So it's like,
That's insane.
yeah, and that was like his job. So yeah, it's the whole thing of like, if you're confident and you look like you know what you're doing,
You can.
and you at least look like you belong
Yeah.
where you are, you can get away with most stuff.
That's insane.
Yeah.
Wow.
Also, jeans and a white t-shirt and like good boots,
Yeah.
you'll fit in pretty much anywhere.
That is true.
That's why I wore jeans and a white t-shirt for so long.
Oh, fair. There you go.
It's just like, it's so generic.
Yeah.
But also like, it can be super casual. It can be kind of businessy. Like,
Yeah.
it just works.
Fit in anyway.
It just works.
That's crazy.
Yeah, it's pretty fun.
Got to try that one day.
Yeah. I really want to do stuff like that where I just like bring my camera and just try and get into places.
Yeah.
Nothing illegal, but just like
A little bit.
just a little bit on the iffy side.
Yeah. You probably shouldn't be here, but
But we won't call the police if we catch you.
yeah, it's like just maybe it's time to go.
Yeah, maybe get out. Do you have anything you want to finish on?
No, not really.
No,
No.
I'm done.
Ah, sick.
Drop the mic.
Boom.
All right. Well, if you want to hear more of us and look at our beautiful faces, check us out on Patreon, patreon.com/The Show. We put up the After Froe Show up there every single week.
We do.
So go check that out if you want more. Social media.
At Froe Media on Instagram and at the Froe Media on Twitter.
That's the one. All right. Thank you so much for checking out episode 59. Yep. I'm going with that. 59. And we'll see you next week. Bye.
Bye.
Bye.